What is up, guys? It is your favorite black guy, Raytoomuch. What is going on? How you guys doing? So, I was trying to think of what else I should upload, right? And then I realized that I haven't uploaded a story time video in a little bit. So, I was sitting here trying to turn the wheels, thinking of stories that I could remember for you guys, because I try to make sure that all the stories I put on here are real. I don't want to put up any fake stories. That's kind of lame. And so I called up my mom to see if she had any stories for me to remember. And then all she did was tell me that how good of a kid I was and how I didn't really do much. And so, there weren't really many crazy stories for me to tell. But then, I was thinking back to my childhood, and then, I got it. So today, I'm going to tell you a nice little story from my childhood, back when I was in elementary school, that I still remember vividly, funny enough. And so, back in my childhood, it was a pretty nice childhood, but in school, I used to talk a lot. Like, they had like these little card things, and it was like a weekly behavior thing, right? And they had these cards where like you would check off certain things, like if you were talking or disruptive in class or you weren't doing your work or something like that. And if you got in trouble for one of those things, the teacher would call you. You have to go pick out your card, you have to check it off, and at the end of the week you have to bring it home to your parents, and then you have to show it to them, and then they have to sign off on it. You have to bring it back to the teacher. All right, so what I always got in trouble for was talking. And there was a time where it got so bad that like I would bring like 3, 4, or 5 check marks home every week, and my mom would always whoop me for it, right? And so it's a Thursday, all right? It's a Thursday night, and so my mom asked me, she's like, do you have any check marks on that card? And I was like, I genuinely didn't remember, so I'm like, no, I don't think so. I don't remember having any checks on my card. And she was like, okay, if you come home with checks on that card, I'm gonna whoop your ass. And so, my response was just like, oh, dang, all right then. But, okay. I wasn't too worried because, I didn't remember getting any checks for that week. So, here we are, I go into school, go through school all day. And then, teacher hands me my card at the end of the day. I open up the card, and I got 4 check marks in the talking area. Like, I had a check mark on Monday, I had a check mark on Wednesday, I had 2 check marks on that Thursday. I don't know how I didn't remember that. And then I had gotten a check that earlier that day, but I wasn't really worried about the 1 check. But, all together I had 4 checks. So now I'm looking at this card, and I'm thinking back to what my mom told me the day before, and I just break down crying. I'm sitting there crying in the middle of the whole classroom, right? And so, I had a white teacher. Her name was Miss Camp. And Miss Camp comes up to me and she's like, Rashawn, why are you crying? And I go, because because and then I couldn't get it out. I was doing the little hiccup crying thing, right? And she was like, "Come on, tell me. You can tell me." I was like, "Cause my goodness would be when I get home," and crying like that or whatever, right? And so she, like I said before, she was a white teacher, so she's like, "My God, your mother is gonna whoop you when you get home." I'm like, uh-huh. She was like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll take care of it." So, in my mind, I'm like, hey, teacher gonna talk to my mom, she's gonna fix the whole thing. It's gonna be great. And so, I'm wiping the tears off, whatever. I'm feeling a little better about the day or whatever. So I, get on the bus. I'm still kind of scared because, I still got the check marks, whatever. Go home. I walk through the door and I said, like, "Hey, Mom, what's going on?" I'm trying to, avoid giving her my card at any means necessary. And she's all like, "So, let me see the card." And I'm like, "Okay, here you go." And so she looks at the card. There's 4 check marks on it. She sees the 4 check marks and she goes, "All right, yeah, I've had enough of this. Go up to your room, take off all your clothes. I'm gonna whoop your ass." And so at this point, my entire heart just dropped. Now I'm sitting here, I'm scared, I'm crying, doing the sniffling thing all over again. And And so I'm scared at this point. So she goes upstairs with the belt, and she starts talking to me, and she's all like, didn't I tell you to stop talking in class? You still talking in class? And I'm like, I know, Mom, I know, I'm sorry. Please don't whoop me. All this other stuff. She's like, take off your underwear. I'm finna whoop your ass. So I'm sitting here, crying, slowly taking off my underwear. But then wait, my mom gets a call, right? And so she like, you wait right there. She gets on the phone. She's sitting there. She talking. I didn't really hear what she was saying because she went downstairs and she talking. And then she comes back upstairs and she's like, you told the school that when you get home I was gonna whoop you? And I was like, yeah. She was like, why the hell you do that? And I was like, cause I was scared. I didn't want you to whoop me and all this other stuff. Then my stepdad come in the room and he all like, what's going on? And then she's sitting there yelling at him and she all like, this boy that sat here and told the teacher that when he get home I'ma whoop him. And his ass over here got the counselor calling me and telling me that I don't have to whoop him. So in my mind, what's going on is that I'm thinking, the teacher was gonna call them, figure something out, maybe tell them it was a mistake, that it didn't really happen or whatever, right? But no, what Miss Camp does is Miss Camp goes to the counselor, and then she tells the counselor what happened, and then the counselor calls my mom, and she's all basically begging my mom not to whoop me, right? And so all this does is really piss my mom off more. She was like, you over here telling these people that I'm whooping you, huh? And I'm sitting here, I'm crying, scared. I'm like, I'm sorry, Bob. Don't beat me. I'm sorry. And then so what she does is like, she's about to whoop me still. She didn't even care, right? But then my stepdad stops her. He was like, I got this. And she's like, no, I'm finna beat his ass. And my stepdad's like, nah, I got this. Go ahead. And so, I'm sitting there scared because I'm like, what's my stepdad gonna do to me or whatever, right? And so he's like, put your clothes back on. And so, I'm thinking I won. I'm thinking it's a W right here. I start putting my clothes back on. I'm kind of happy, but, I still got the sad face, still doing the random sniffles and everything, And he's like, come here, sit down right here. So he sits on my bed, tells me to sit next to him. So I sit next to him, and he's like, so you don't like whoopings, huh? And I'm like, I don't like whoopings. And he like, well, my mom always used to tell me something. She used to tell me a lot whenever I get in trouble. And I was like, I'm over here, I'm a dumb little kid. So I'm like, what'd she tell you? And he like, well, she always told me that there's more than one way to skin a cat. Do you know what that means? And so, I'm a dumb little kid, so I'm all like, no, we don't even have a cat. Like, what are you talking about? And he's all like, well, there's more than one way we can punish you. And if you don't like whoopings, it's fine. You don't have to get any whoopings. It's alright, I understand. But there's more than one way to skin a cat. So I'm sitting there still kind of lost. So I'm like, okay then. So he's like, this is what I want you to do. Come here. So I follow him into his room. I follow him into their room or whatever. And so what he does is he gets down into a push-up position. And he's like, I want you to do this. So I get down into a push-up position like him. And then he stands up. He's like, I want you to sit like that. Don't move. And so I'm like, okay. So, I'm just chilling there. 5 minutes go by. I'm still chilling, I was like real bored or whatever. But, I'm still chilling. 10 minutes go by. My arm's starting to hurt. 15 minutes, my arm's looking like jello or whatever. Can't really handle much more of sitting like this. And I'm like, can I get down now? You're like, nope. Now here we are at the 30-minute mark. And I'm sitting there crying now. My arms are in pain. I'm dying. I'm like, please. Let me get out. I don't want to do this no more. Please. And he like, nope, you gonna sit just like that. I'm over here falling. Every time I fall, he like, get up, get back up, get up. And I be sitting there all scared and stuff, crying to get back up. Got snot coming out my nose, got bubbles coming out of there, all this other stuff, just doing all this crying. My head aching from all the crying I've been doing. I'm still sitting there, and after like an hour and a half of this, he like, get up. Now, I was kind of stuck like that, but like, I kind of like rolled over and got up, and my arms are like in serious pain at this point, right? And so he's like, all right, come here. And so, at this point, I'm thinking it's over. So I'm like, hey, I was like, that was terrible, but at least it's over. But he takes me downstairs to the living room, and he's like, hold your arms out like this. So basically he had I was doing like a T pose, but instead of like the palms of my hands facing downwards, they were facing upwards. And so he goes to the bookshelf. He gets two books, puts two books on one hand, and he takes two more books and puts them on the other hand. He's like, now stand like that. And then so my arms are already hurting from the whole push-up position fiasco. And so after like 5 minutes of this, my arms are still in pain again. My arms are in pain again. I'm sitting here, I'm crying. I'm like, please, I don't want to do this no more. Still have me doing it. And I was dropping the books. He kept yelling at me, pick up, back to pick the books back up. All this other stuff. I'm still crying, begging him not to do it or whatever. And then after like 30 minutes of this, he finally let me put my arms down, right? So then he takes me back up the stairs. My arms are like gelatin. My arms are like gelatin at this point. They can't really do anything. I could barely lift them up. They're in so much pain. And so he takes me to my room and he's like, now jog in place. And I started jogging in place. You know, it was fine. He was like, no, I want your knees to go higher. So I started putting my knees higher. He's like, no, I want you to go higher. Like, I want you to knee yourself in the chest. And so I started, I started jogging in place with my knees in the chest. And it was like, all right at first. But after like 4 or 5 minutes of this, like, I was like, I ain't want to do this no more. I was already tired from all the push-up position stuff he had me doing or whatever, man. And so I'm like, can I just stop, please? And he's like, nah, you ain't want to get no whoopings. You don't got to get a whooping. See, look, we can do this. And I'm sitting there and I'm crying and I'm begging him. I'm like, please, I'm sorry. And nope, I sat there, sitting there kneeing myself in the chest, jogging in place for like another 30 minutes, right? And then he's like, all right, you can stop. And so at this point, I'm like, it gotta be over, And so after that, my mom come in there, she yelled at me or whatever after all that, and then I was grounded for 2 weeks. And to this day, and then the worst part of that was, ever since then, like every time I got in trouble after that, they didn't whip me no more. They put me in push-up position, they made me do the little T-pose thing, and they kept making me jog in place. And every time I'd sit there and cry and beg him to stop, my stepdad would be like, well, if you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough, And so that was kind of the day I wish that I never told school that I was getting whoopings, because at that point I would have just rather had whoopings, like it was terrible. But now I look back on it, it's just like a funny little memory, and my mom laughed at that too. She was like, yeah, you damn right. And so she'd be feeling all proud of that or whatever, but I still be kind of mad at her low key or whatever. But yeah, that's it, guys. You already know, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But until next time, please keep your knees safe. If you don't have knees, how on earth are you going to be able to jog in place? And I will see you guys next time. Bye.